Good afternoon and welcome. Merry Christmas to all. I'm Reverend Roger, and my pronouns are he, him. Our chalice lighting words are from Linda Hart. We kindle a small flame in the dark of the year, remembering the promise of life abundant, of a possible peace. We pause on this night of mystery to tell the stories, to sing the songs, and to bring more light into the world. Over the last month, we have been lighting our Advent candles, and had we been here this morning, which we weren't, we would have lit the fourth one, and that shows us that Christmas Eve is here. And tonight, we'll light the last central candle that is symbolic of everything in Christmas. The other candles symbolized faith and hope and peace and love. For the joy of Christmas.
Our opening words are from the Reverend Gretchen Haley. Calling all who cannot wait any longer for joy, for hope, and some good news. The time has come, the waiting is over. Here in this time we have an old story to tell, one that has been shared over and over for thousands of years. Still, somehow, it remains unheard, still radical and risky. Breaking through into these days of darkness and cold, division and fear, interrupting the perpetual stories of violence and loss and the feelings of powerlessness. Christmas arrives not only to comfort, but to awaken, to reassure and stir us up as a new life, a life of peace and justice and courageous love struggles to be born. Wondering if we yet will be the ones who make room in our lives and in our world for the refugee, the poor, the plain and messy sweetness of a newborn baby. If we will take the journey to Bethlehem, if we will be changed by the presence of a love that meets us where we are in the fields, wherever we lay, and calls us forth into a new journey, a braver and bolder life, believing that it is not too late for strong and gentle people to win, for compassion and truth to have the final say, for the bright light of hope to shine. Come, let us celebrate the good news of Christmas. Whoever you are, wherever you are on your life journey, wherever you are in the world, you are welcome here. Come, let us worship together. I invite you to rise and body your spirit. We're going to sing Bring a Torch, Jeanette, Isabella. All of the hymns are in your order of service. Of Christmas is people taking journeys about saying yes to a trip to see a child, and we have two readings about some of these groups of travelers. The first one is from the Reverend Lynn Unger called Looking for the Christmas Spirit. She writes, What I am really hoping for, what I'm aiming towards, is the Christmas spirit of the shepherds, who have always been my favorite part of the story, partly because I've always found it hilarious. I mean, here are ordinary guys doing the most ordinary things, just out on the job, keeping an eye on what needs to be watched, and suddenly the sky is full of angels. Luke tells us right in the text that they were terrified, and who wouldn't be? It's all completely absurd and unbelievable, and no one in their right mind, which neither the shepherds nor the sheep probably were under the circumstances, would have had the faintest idea how to respond. Any reasonable person would conclude that the sky was falling and hunker down. But these guys, these plain, extraordinary guys, get their sheep together and go out to look for a baby wrapped in swaddling clothes. Think about that for a minute. Swaddling clothes are what everybody those days wrapped their babies in. It's like saying, you will know for a sign when you see a baby in a onesie. But these dudes were like, okay, sure, fine, let's go see what they're talking about. I love that. That is the Christmas spirit I'm looking for. The spirit that in the face of terror and confusion is willing to entertain the possibility that wonder could be in the mix as well. The spirit that is willing to be amazed and curious and brave enough to say, let's go see, even when the instructions aren't very clear and you don't know the road. Let's go see together.
And the other reading is about another group of people who came to see this baby, 3 of them, I believe. And this reading is called The Queens Came Late. The queens came late, but the queens were there with gifts in their heads and crowns in their hair. They'd come, these 3, like the kings, from far, following, yes, a yonder star. They'd left their ladies' linens looms, their children playing in nursery rooms, and told their sitters, take charge, for this is a marvelous sight we must not miss. The queens came late, but not too late to see the animals, small and great, feathered and furred, domestic and wild, gathered to gaze at the mother and child. And rather than frankincense and myrrh and gold for the babe, they brought for she who held him a homespun gown of blue, and chicken soup, with noodles too, and a lingering, lasting cradle song. The queens came late and stayed not too long, for their thoughts already were straining far, past manger and mother and guiding star, and a child aglow in the morning sun, toward home and children and chores undone.
Imagine, if you will, that you are in the midst of a difficult time and a dark winter. And then imagine you hear a story of hope, a story of new beginning that is at once familiar and brand new. No one really knows when the baby Jesus was born or how or what really happened that night, but it was a special night. It was a wonderful night full of hope and love. It was so full of hope and love that this story has been told over and over again. We need those stories sometimes, especially in the midst of a time like this. And so this afternoon, we tell you the story of Jesus' birth in a new and familiar way. I invite you to open your hearts and minds as you watch and listen. We're going to set our stage by inviting our innkeepers to go to their inns and inviting our friendly beasts to come up and get comfortable in their home at the stable. And we're going to sing Jesus, Our Brother, in honor of all that the friendly beasts brought that evening. I invite you to rise in body or spirit. may be seated. And I'm going to invite our friendly beasts to say hello. Can you say hello, friendly beasts, in your animal voices? Excellent. Long ago, in a faraway land called Judea, a man and a woman named Joseph and Mary had to make a long journey to the city of Bethlehem because there was a new law that said that they had to go there to pay their taxes. It took Mary and Joseph 3 days to walk to Bethlehem. Mary was going to have a baby soon, and Joseph worried about her making a long journey. They started out early each morning with bags of bread and cheese to eat along the way. At night, they were very tired and would find an inn where they could sleep.
Look, Mary, those must be the rooftops of Bethlehem ahead of us. We're almost there.
Thank goodness. I'm getting really tired, and it feels like the baby is almost ready to be born.
Don't worry, Mary. We'll stop at the first place we come to.
Wow, there's a lot of people in town. I guess that shouldn't be a surprise.
Here we are.
May we help you?
We'd like a room for the night.
Do you have a reservation?
No, we weren't sure when we would arrive.
Sorry, no rooms.
It looks like there's another inn right here. Good afternoon, sir. Do you have any rooms available this evening?
Wolford, try the place 3 streets over. It's bigger.
There's got to be a room somewhere.
We'll see what they have to say. Oh. Excuse me, do you have any rooms for me and my very pregnant wife?
I don't care who you are. Can't you see we're full already? Go away.
We've been walking all afternoon, Joseph. I'm starting to get really worried.
Me too, but we're going to find something. I promise. Look, there's another inn, and there's light in the window. Good evening. My name is Joseph, and this is my wife, Mary. We've been traveling for days, and it's almost time for Mary to give birth. Can you please help us? We just need a place to rest.
I'm sorry, we have no more rooms, but I bet I could make a little space for you in the shed. Come with me. It's a little crowded, but it's mostly clean, and it's very warm.
It smells like fresh hay. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Now, everyone close your eyes and imagine time passing. Okay, you already opened your eyes.
It's a boy.
And his name is Jesus.
Friendly beast, what do you say?
Wonderful child is born. Hooray! A wonderful child is born.
Did you hear something? Did you hear something? Wow, look at that star. Where did that noise come from?
A wonderful child is born.
Are those angels over there talking to us? Do you see angels over there? I think so.
Fear not. Follow the star, shepherds. Go see the child.
Wow, I guess we should listen to those angels. Come on, sheep. Yeah, come on, sheep. Come on, sheep.
Glory to God and peace on earth. Tell everyone the good news.
He is a beautiful and amazing child. Do you mind if we stay and rest a while?
No problem. There's plenty of room.
Yippee.
Let's all spread the good news by singing Go Tell It on the Mountain. Christ may be seated.
Look, wise ones, look at that star. It's so bright. It must be shining for something very special. Let's follow it and see where it leads. Congratulations. What a wonderful child. This child will be our teacher. We brought you some gifts. Here is some gold. And frankincense. And myrrh.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you.
This story of a wonderful child born in unusual circumstances, is just one story. A child named Jesus, born of Joseph and Mary in a stable years and years ago. There are so many stories of babies being born in all sorts of circumstances. They're not always angels or prophets or wise ones or even a stable full of friendly beasts. And yet, it is just as Sophia Lyon-Fawes writes, each night a child is born is a holy night. Let us thank the young ones among us for the gift they have given us this afternoon by helping to tell the story and by simply being who they are. Hooray! Our holy family and friends are welcome to go and sit with their families, and we're all going to rise in body or spirit and sing Angels We Have Heard on High. In our version of the story, Mary and Joseph travel to 4 inns before someone finally says yes. Different things happen along the way. They didn't make a reservation, the inn is full, the innkeeper is super mean, and then someone finally says yes. And it's not, yes, there's a room for you, we have a queen bed and a swimming pool. It's, yes, you can stay in the stable. I mean, it's not ideal. But then the Mary and Joseph in our story also say yes. After all, they are tired and miserable and about to have a baby, so it seems like the best option. Still, they could have kept going, but instead they said yes. They were probably thinking, great, a place out of the cold, a place where we can stop moving, a place where we can stop having to ask over and over again if someone can help us, a place where we can rest, and if we have to, have the baby. The innkeeper promised it would be warm and crowded, and it was. It got more crowded later on, of course. One yes often leads to another. A similar thing happened to the shepherds who were just out in the field doing their thing when a star appears and some angels tell them to get going and go see the baby. I mean, how easy would it have been for them to say, no way. We got to tend to our sheep here. We have to follow a star to get there? What kind of directions are those? Have you ever tried to follow a star to get somewhere? It is not exactly like GPS. There's probably going to be a lot of recalculating. Despite all this, despite the leap of faith required and the odds against them, the shepherds said, yes, yes, we will go on this unlikely adventure and see this baby. Yes. There are lots of ways that the stories of Christmas are about saying yes. Not just this one, where the innkeepers and the shepherds and the wise ones say yes. There's the queens who know what it is to have a baby to care for, and so they shift their priorities and responsibilities to go help out another family. There's other stories like in A Charlie Brown Christmas when Charlie Brown says yes to directing a Christmas play in order to fully embrace the season. And Charlie Brown also says yes to a tiny little tree that looks terrible and forlorn, and people laugh at him. But in the end, they cover it with decorations and love, and all of a sudden it becomes a beautiful and lush tree worthy of the season. There's the way that the Grinch tries to take Christmas away from all the Who's down in Whoville, but then on Christmas Day, when he hears them singing anyway, and despite all his best efforts, he finds himself saying yes. Yes to celebrating, yes to presents and giving and sharing and love. There's Buddy the elf who believes in Christmas so much that he is always saying yes with great enthusiasm and amazement. He says yes to pushing all the buttons in the elevator, to eating syrup on spaghetti, and to spreading Christmas cheer so powerfully and persistently that most of New York City ends up singing Christmas songs and saving Santa's sleigh. So much saying yes. One of my favorite things this time of year is seeing all the various decorations and lights that people put out in their yards and homes. It feels like we live in an enthusiastic part of the world for this, and I'm constantly surprised by the things that I see. I passed a house with 3 giant inflatable dinosaurs with Santa hats on them. Now, I seriously doubt that dinosaurs celebrated Christmas. But someone in the inflatable Christmas business said, yes, why not? Yes to yards full of penguins and snowmen and minions and nutcrackers and unicorns and Snoopies, along with figures of Mary and Joseph. And someone in the Christmas sweater business said yes to Star Wars and Christmas so that Darth Vader also wears a Santa hat and says Merry Sithmas. And there's one with stormtroopers holding seasonal candy canes instead of blasters. Why not say yes? There's so much yes when it comes to Christmas. We have, as I like to say, an all-inclusive pageant welcoming any kind of beast or character to our stable or angel chorus or shepherd corps. The whole point is that these stories, that Christmas itself is full of surprises and impossibilities made possible and opening our hearts up wider than we even thought possible. That is what Christmas is all about. I think of those shepherds and those wise ones who actually followed the star, an imprecise way to get somewhere if there ever was one. They were not sure why they were going really, or how or when they would get there, but they got there. Probably there were times when it didn't seem like they would, but they got there, and no doubt they got there and they were like, yes, we made it. I take this as a reminder to us of hope and faith. How many times have we felt like that in our lives? That we weren't sure if we were going to achieve something or get to where we wanted to go, or if a dream was going to come true. How many times have we lost our way or wondered what was next? This story reminds us that we can still make our way to where we need to be. And I also take it as a reminder that even when we do get there, things might not look like we thought they would. I mean, what are the odds that when Mary was working on her birth plan, that she thought, so then I'll have the horses cheering me on, and the hay will be soft enough, and I'll be able to put the baby in the manger. There's no way that's what she pictured. But she and Joseph said yes to the stable, and it was cozy and warm and crowded and nothing like the picture she had in her head. It was not the first time parenthood did not look like what the parents imagined. This is what is so great about the Christmas story as we tell it. The setting of the birth is so unusual, so unexpected, that it reminds us that any child, absolutely no matter what the circumstances of their birth, any child can be someone who can change the world. Any child, no matter the circumstances of their birth, will be someone who changes the world. Anything is possible with love and community. Anything. It just takes saying yes. As Lynn Unger writes, the Christmas spirit is the spirit that in the face of terror and confusion is willing to entertain the possibility that wonder could be in the mix as well. The spirit that is willing to be amazed and curious and brave enough to say, let's go see, even when the instructions aren't very clear and you don't know the road. Let's go see. Let's go see together. It has been 4 long years since I have had the privilege and joy of being here amongst you all on Christmas Eve as we share this story together in love and community, so I am particularly grateful to be here today. It is always the same and always different. However many times we've done this, more ways to be transformed. We only need our hearts and minds to be open to saying yes. Tonight and in the days to follow, may we be like the innkeeper who sees a way to make room out of no room. May we be like Mary and Joseph, who are willing to let go of the picture in their heads to embrace new possibilities. May we be like the shepherds and the queens and the wise ones who leave what they know in order to take an unclear journey to help others with hope and faith and love. May we, like all of them, find ourselves saying yes, and so may it always be.
Tonight's offering will be evenly split between Unity Temple and Housing Forward. Housing Forward addresses immediate housing and crisis needs, health and income needs, and supports housing stability. It is a great organization to support any time of the year, but especially in this season of winter. I invite you to be generous as the plates go around. May what you give bring you joy. They ask, where and how will this life end, or will it ever end? Each night, a child is born. A time for glory, a time for worshiping.
So out of this afternoon, we have come to be one another, to share the celebration of this special day, to be with and connect to one another. And in a moment, we're going to turn out all the lights, and I'm hoping that you have a candle. And Roger, excellent, thank you. Thanks for showing me your candles. Roger and I are both going to light candles from our chalice, and we're going to walk through the sanctuary. We're going to light some of the candles, and then we're going to ask you, if your candle's lit, to pass it on to somebody near you. And we're going to do this as quietly as we can. And then, when all the candles are lit, we will sing Silent Night, and that the words are in your order of service. As the light in the sanctuary increases, so does the hope and courage and love that we bring to one another. Our closing words are from Mar and Killeran. This afternoon in this community, we have shared stories, sung carols, opened our hearts to the beauty of music. Tonight, we have turned to one another, lighting each other's candles. Tonight, we have dared to hear a message of hope spoken once again against the challenge of this world. It's time now to depart, to go forward, to live our lives into the world. May joy be your companion, may love be your strength, and may the gift of the community dwell in your heart. For here in this place, you will be welcome always, whenever you choose, whenever you need. We will extinguish the chalice, but you are welcome to keep your candles lit until we turn the lights on after the closing music ends. Please join with me in the words of our chalice extinguishing. Carry the flame of peace and love until we meet again.